Coming up on Look Today, the Great Escape Amusement Park will debut a new roller coaster. I've got details. And the Adirondack Sports Complex Dome in Queensbury has settled a federal lawsuit. More on that coming up. And Moreau Lake is on the rise. I've got those details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, I sit down with Tonya Pellegrini. Now she's the owner of Pellegrini Events and she's here to talk about the Kay Lavoie 5K run, which is going to be held on May 14 in Saratoga. And I also sit down with Lisa Sue Woiditz. She's an author and we talk about the effects of addiction in families and in the community. Please hang in for this interview. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties. But first, we've got these headline stories. In our lead story, well, the Great Escape Amusement Park in Queensbury is installing its new looping coaster ride. Guess what it's called? Greased Lightning. Well, Bert Crane and the rigging company are in the final stages of assembling the coaster, which will have its debut on May 21st. Now, the Great Escape ran its first test run on the coaster today. I'm glad I wasn't there. The park itself will open up for the season on May 14. Now, the ride is located in the front of the park, in between the Sasquatch and the Boomerang rides. Well, we spoke to Dave Johnson. He's the marketing director of the Great Escape.
Sure, Greased Lightning is a 7-story tall roller coaster experience where you'll rock back and forth, forward and backward, until you reach the apex of this loop, at which point you'll get unlimited hang time while our operator sort of gooses the controls back and forth.
Okay. I may be a little old for that ride. In other news, well, about 5 years ago, the Adirondack Sports Complex Dome in Queensbury collapsed. Now the owner of the facility has finally settled a federal lawsuit against the company responsible for building it. The inflatable dome that contains artificial turf fields for various sports collapsed in the winter of 2011. Now, the sports complex did end up getting $900,000 in insurance money. Now, as you might remember, no one got hurt, thankfully. However, the sports complex claimed financial losses of up to $1 million. The company responsible for the construction and the design of the facility, the Farley Group from Canada, has now been officially sued. Now, we will keep you updated as we get further developments. Switching from news to weather. Well, it looks like spring is right back on track. So let's hope it stays that way. For a more detailed look, let's head to our Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first weather forecast. In other news, well, the water in Moreau Lake is rising again. Now, why is that important? Well, the lake can only be restored by rainfall, as it was originally formed by a melting glacier and does not have any inlet river or streams to replenish it. Now, this past winter's lack of snow did not help the situation. Now, in December, the lake was 4 feet below average. Well, thankfully, the past few months have seen a lot of rain, now about 7 inches. Although the lake is still shallow near the shore, kayakers and canoers have been launching their boats. In other news, the Grill and Cinema in downtown Glens Falls held a fundraiser today. The fundraiser is for Otto Miller. He's a Queensbury High School student who became paralyzed after he fell off a roof while shoveling snow this past winter. The restaurant will donate 15% of the proceeds to the Otto Miller Paralysis Recovery Fund. Otto Miller, by the way, was a star athlete in high school and had attended classes at SUNY Adirondack. He became paralyzed from the waist down and will not be able to walk again. So donations can also be made, and you can make a donation by going to youcaring.com. Let me spell that. Youcaring, youcaring.com. And that's for Otto Miller. Up next, I sit down with Tonya Pellegrini. She's the owner of Pellegrini Events, and she's here to talk about the Kay Lavoie 5K run on May 14. Plus, I also sit down with Lisa Sue Woiditz. She's an author, and we talk about the effects of addiction in families and the community. But first, if you've seen who's happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000.